Someone is sitting across from you. They lay out a tangled, frustrating situation they've been wrestling with for weeks, and then they drop the inevitable question. So, what do you think I should do? Every instinct in your professional body screams at you to step in. You clearly see the logical path forward, and offering a brilliant, actionable solution right then and there feels like the exact reason you're in the room. Handing over that answer triggers an immediate rush of validation. It proves you are smart, highly capable, and worth your fee, instantly confirming your status as the expert. But stepping in to solve the issue creates a structural problem. If the session requires you to be the sharpest mind at the table, dispensing the right moves to make, you are operating as a consultant, not a coach. Psychiatrist Dr. Daniel Amen made an observation about childhood development that maps directly onto this dynamic. He noted, "We are raising mentally weak children because we overdo for them." That exact dynamic plays out in coaching sessions every single day. Stepping in to steer someone toward an answer doesn't make them stronger. It builds a quiet, long-term dependency on your guidance. Every time you hand someone the solution, you are making a direct trade. You are pushing your own expertise bar higher by training their foundational self-trust. Moving past the need to be the hero requires a specific kind of discipline. You have to step back and leave a vacuum so the person across from you is forced to step up. When a client asks you to tell them what to do and you refuse to take the bait, the room immediately fills with silence. Your primary job right here is to fight the urge to rescue them. The tension hanging in the air feels heavy, and it is entirely up to you to let it sit there unresolved. Holding that space is an active, deliberate technique that requires you to stay present and engaged without offering an escape hatch. That specific feeling of uncertainty is exactly where the cognitive heavy lifting happens. To figure out their next move, they must wade through the discomfort of not immediately knowing. Tolerating that pause is the mechanism that forces their brain out of a passive, receiving state and into active processing mode. Once you establish that pause, you intercept their demand for a solution by redirecting it back to them with genuine curiosity. You ask questions like, "What do you already know about this?" Or, "If a close friend were in this situation, what would you tell them?" This blocks them from outsourcing their thinking to you, forcing the analytical load directly into their own internal wisdom. Repeated over time, it disrupts their default pattern. They stop looking across the table because the pathway to an easy answer is continually shut down. The constant redirection acts as a training mechanism. They learn to consult their own existing knowledge first, relying on that baseline over external validation. The hardest part of this process is avoiding the content trap. It is incredibly easy to get hooked into the dramatic, specific details of the immediate crisis a client brings into the room. Coaching the person means pulling your focus away from the surface issue and watching the underlying mechanics, their recurring behavioral patterns, their limiting beliefs, and their capacity to handle stress. If you dissect the specifics of their current roadblock and map out a solution, you manage to fix exactly one temporary problem for them. By focusing entirely on developing their self-awareness, you give them a working framework. They can apply that exact framework to navigate any future bottleneck entirely on their own. A master coach doesn't build a reputation by solving daily fires. They truly prove their worth by developing a lifelong capacity within the client to manage the flames themselves. When someone arrives at an answer through their own heavy lifting, the person who walks out the door is entirely different from the one who asked for help. They carry a distinct forward momentum. Lasting clarity cannot be dictated. For a new insight to take hold, the individual has to excavate it and claim it as their own discovery. If you build a roster of clients who freeze up and need to schedule a call with you before making a major decision, the process has failed. The true metric for success is the quiet, extreme independence of the people you leave behind. In your very next professional conversation, pay close attention to your own impulses. Catch the exact second you feel the urge to step in, take control, and give advice. Stop that instinct cold. Hold the silence in the room, ask them a redirecting question, and force yourself to stay quiet. Your clients do not need your answers.
They need the space to finally trust their own.